So we're going to do a 2-point perspective sketch. You're going to notice it looks similar to our 1-point, except for we've got an extra point over here now. And if you look at the template they've already kind of given you the outline for, you're going to notice it looks like it's shifted or turned, sort of like our isometrics. So we're going to start by drawing this right end, and we're going to draw it right over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to make sure that we line up our edges with our vanishing point. And we're going to draw nice light lines. I tend to draw darker lines than what I need to, and then if I make a mistake, it's much harder to try to fix those. I'm going to go ahead and use this outline first. So I'm just going to go ahead and do use the outline that they've kind of given us to help myself stay straight. And so and then we're going to end up putting this on top of our cube rectangular prism that we make. This one back off to our vanishing point. And so we have this right side there now. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to make this front side. So kind of if we're doing this is really nice. This is already made with those lines, with those images. We just need to make sure that we get all of those lines drawn. And back to our vanishing point. And go ahead and close in this front edge of the rectangle. Move my ruler too quick. So now we have the front, we have the right, and now we just need to work with this top, figure out where that's at, get this top portion here also. So if we look at this, remember from the previous, we had a single box here and a single box across. So this halfway point is probably still going to be about the same. So if we go ahead and sketch that, we can go ahead and take that out to our vanishing point. We do have to remember that as we get farther back, a small distance at the back of our object is equal to a much longer actual distance. So when we look at this is actually not going to look like it's up towards the front. This can look like a much bigger area up here at the front than it does at the back, just because of the way the vanishing points end up working in the vanishing perspective sketch. So I'm going to say this was 1/3 of the way back, but it's going to look like it's more like 3/4 of the way back, more than likely. So probably going to be more like right about there. So if I use that as a reference point, I can go ahead and line that up and kind of connect that with my line at the front and make my vanishing point. And I need to make sure that I make this, otherwise I'm not going to know where that back edge is at. So I need to go ahead and make my line to come across for my top edge of my box. Just going to lightly do that, because some of these we're going to end up erasing. So we have to remember that there's some things we have to erase. Now, we have this line right here. We have not connected that yet, so let's go back and do that. And we are going to make it go all the way back to the vanishing point. Even though it's not all going to stay there, let's just make the rest of this really light. That way we can erase it, kind of get it out of our way. So we realize this is going to come up. So this line might be distracting. I'd go ahead and erase that just a little bit. This line might be distracting, so I'm going to go ahead and erase it. And really this might be a little distracting, so I'm going to just kind of lightly erase that. We know we're not going to be able to erase it because we already had the template on there earlier. But that may be a little bit helpful to keep up with stuff. And this I'm going to lighten up just a little bit. But when I'm looking at these, I really want to see the progress. I really want to see the work. So I don't want you to erase too much. We are going to see this line. We are going to see this line. We are going to see this one. We can see it in our isometric. This one's pretty easy. We're just going to extend this up. This one, we're just going to extend up about how far we think it would be. Realize it's going to look a little bit smaller because it's farther back. So we can just kind of make some estimates as far as where we're going to be and go ahead and make those lines. And then I'm going to pick the edge that I think it's where it's going to be. Just pick a top edge, and then this will help me line up the top edge with the other line. And then if we want, we can clean that up just a little bit if you'd like. So there's that. And now we also know this top corner right here is going to come across that vanishing point line there. So we're going to take that top corner, bring that across to our vanishing point. And we're going to go ahead and extend our vertical line here from this back edge. Go ahead and extend that up. Okay, so now where is that going to connect? We're looking for this top line, we're looking for this top line, so we're going to be going right to there. So we need this line across. So we need to come across and go back to our vanishing point over there. So we're going to come across that corner. Make sure we get the right one. It's that one right there. And now we should pretty well have our object. Let's go and lighten a few of these internal lines up a little bit. So, and then darken some so we can kind of see what's going on, so we can double check. So this is our object here. This is that little piece that was setting on top. And it comes up across here. And I really probably should use a ruler for this. Just want to show you which lines I'm darkening up though. That's just a sketching line. So we talk about our construction lines and what were construction lines. So now you can kind of see it stand out a little bit more. Maybe this one a little darker. So now we can see our object. And if you'd like, you can go back and lighten these up a little bit. You can lighten these lines up. We'd still want to see them. I'm very heavy with my pencil lines. I try to be very light and still very heavy, but that's fine. So there is a 2-point perspective drawing.